I have a question for y'all to see if it's legitimate. I'm confused on how they determine what a straight line is. What are they referencing to?
I asked
Is
that
that
twice before, and I even super chatted it when George was with Bev, and he waffled and couldn't answer it. Yeah, if your straight line's curved, how do you reference? I mean, anything.
yeah? What are you referencing? A true straight line, a
Yeah,
line, a horizontal that's not curving. What are you referencing that to?
yeah. George said in that if you go back and listen to him and Bev's debate or one-on-one, he said your reference is a curved line. And then so I super chatted. Well, then how do you establish a straight line if your reference is a curved line?
And also, I've been thinking about this. Say you're at, just choose any point that you're at. Let's say up on a mountain somewhere. What angle do you go to the nearest sea level to get your elevation above sea level? Because if you go 10 degrees right or left of that point, it's going to be at a different,
Yep.
right, a different elevation. Am I thinking wrong about that? I mean, it's
I've asked that same question. If you reference sea level 0, then how are any of your sea level the same?
right. If I'm a mile above sea level in Denver, at that particular point where they took the mean sea level at or whatever, and I go 20 degrees from that, wouldn't you be at a different elevation based on that sea level?
Yeah, I would think so.
I guess it's from the center of the earth, maybe. All the water. That
Nobody,
really gets me, though.
they won't ever accept, like even in their own religion, they won't accept center of the earth measurements because you can't prove it. Because like if you look it up, like they'll say certain mountains are higher than others. Uh, like let's say the tallest mountain is Mount Everest. That's from mean sea level, but actually, if you reference it from the center of the earth in their religion, it's a different mountain. But they won't ever admit that because you can't prove it. So they will always use mean sea level.
Even the mountains in Ranty's non-picture, right? The ones that are further away or lower, then how are they at the same elevation based on mean sea level?
They're not.
I don't know.
Well, I guess my question is, how are they thinking they're the same? I know they're
Yeah.
not.
But you've just heard Bill. Like they literally do not know what level is.
We've heard it all day, right?
Plainly clear.
I've heard words today I've never heard before.
Well, Bill kept talking about the spirit level when Bev and Buster were both talking about a water level.
Well, that's when you mention water level, they picture that little water in the bubble, and that's what they think you're talking about. They don't think of anything else.
It's hard because my example involves actually like having a practical knowledge of how actual water level tube works. And I can always tell when I'm asking the question and going down through it that they'll be lost by the way they started off answering, and he had no idea. Like even though I walked through it, he was thinking spirit level. It's just can't have a conversation. Yeah.
Back.
That was weird.
Y'all lose everything too?
No, I'm getting phone calls, so
Oh, that's cool.
kicks me out.
Yeah. Am I all right? Can you hear
Yep.
me?
Yeah.
Sweet. You want to just check the live stream?
Shite, Mike.
Because I'm out the house now.
Let's see.
Eight watching.
It's going.
Really good.
Yeah, it's going. It's good to go.
You know, we're getting down to the crux, right, of the arguments. Just like Bev was saying a year ago, you know, it's going to come to this, right? Now you know, everything that you hear now is about levels horizontal and the attacks thereof, like how we don't understand, how we don't know, but it's all coming to us now. So just prepare yourself. You know, this is going to happen, right? It's set in motion now where nothing can stop it. People on the street and every day are coming up to me now, and all the shows you see, they're coming here. You know, there's only one reason Bullet Bill came over here, right? And it's because the word is out. Bev's going out. We're all going to different shows and talking about this. You know, now they realize what's going on. So they're having to defend it and tell us how stupid we are while we're actually doing the things that they're telling us we don't know how to do. Honestly, he came over here and admitted very nicely that he doesn't really know a lot about math or geometry, has never really used auto levels or water levels, and is telling us how they don't do what we say they do. I don't get it.
It's more dates.
Not just that.
That's
He
weird.
said
Well
that-
said, Dave.
He said that he's good in biology, which has zero to do with whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean, if he does have degrees in biology, you know, he's smart. He can decipher and research and do things like that. So that's good. Honestly, we need people like him that are civil, that are willing to come have a conversation, and that are smart enough to go out there and research it and be honest. Because he has no problem. That's why I don't get the arguments. Because most of the arguments that we argue about over and over again for hours doesn't make it not a sphere, right? You know, that's what I don't get. But conversation is fun when it's civil. Bullet Bill goes way back to Jose's show. I can remember sitting on the shore of Lake Pontchartrain doing some observations, and I spent hours on the phone with him. So he's willing to talk.
Yeah, that's good. Good. It's like a intellectual sparring, isn't it?
Yep.
But there isn't really much of a debate about it because it's geometry. It's set. The only debate is whether you're using like a real geometry that you can practically use, or are you making up something that the model is dictating to you, that there's no practical way to explain it or demonstrate it. No real world demonstrations of anything he's talking about. That's where it's going to come down to.
I want to go back through my tests, you know, because their main objection to my test was moving the auto level, which, okay, I kind of get their point. I understand it. I don't believe that, but I see what they're saying. But okay, let's say I can do the same thing and set the top of these grade stakes following the curvature of the earth, which is known, right? I mean, it's a given radius. It's a certain standard of curvature. It's constant. And then I can raise those grade stakes accordingly. And they're saying that would be the horizontal line. That's that's craziness to me. But then you could put a pipe or whatever on top of those grade stakes and show that that's not how the water flows. You adjust the top of those grade stakes to the earth curve calculator and put a pipe on top, that water is going to flow out.
Yeah. It's obvious though now it's a game of deceit, isn't it? Bill still thought he was intellectually superior because the model dictated that he was much cleverer. He knew more about the model. That's how he knows that level curves.
Yeah, but he probably doesn't even know more about the model either.
Well, what he did first was try to label us a flat earther so he could automatically put himself above. And when you say I'm not a flat earther, the earth isn't flat. It has elevation changes based on that sea level. And where can he go? He can't argue with that, right? Good on you. I think that's the right way to go. I love it.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's all we ever see. It's all we ever measure.
But if I have a water level and it establishes
I'll go ahead since y'all both cut each other off. Earlier on Jose's, Babs or whoever that was saying how accurate these horizontal tools are. How we say they're only accurate up to a couple hundred feet, and he's got booklets that are telling him that they're good for however distance that he posted, whatever, longer than 300 and 400 and 500 foot, 1,000 foot, or whatever. Okay, great. Right? Then that makes it that much easier to go out there and measure curved water. Let's see it. It's not happening.
But I had, like, for me, I did it practically. I made a straight line. I made a horizontal. I put a level on it after the fact. I mean, that's proof. And that's what I was trying to ask. What would he have as real world proof that would prove that wrong? And he wants to do theoretical stuff. So, I mean, that's all they got, then you're going to have a bad day.
They spent years teaching us how you can't do observations over water and you can't cite things over distance, especially over water. And now what do they say? You got to cite down it to be accurate, to measure it. You got to cite it. Yeah, but I'm citing it over water. No, that's the only way to do it. Yeah. It's full reversal. It's doublespeak at its best. Taught me how light bends up, down, around curves and does loop-de-loops because of the atmosphere. But when I mention the atmosphere causing a deviation in the measurement over distance, long distance over water, I'm crazy, right? I don't understand. Looking through an optic, glass and mirrors. These total stations and autolevs have mirrors and glass. They are made of glass. I mean, mirrors. Good luck looking a mile and
getting how they make mirrors, right?
So?
No, I was just saying, how they make mirrors.
I drive in up. Is it cutting out?
Yeah, he must be. I thought it was me, but yeah. If it's happening for everyone, then. Straight into imagination. Well, not imaginatory, but straight into imagination, isn't it? They love it. Nothing real. Just
imagine this.
Just put yourself in this position, or
theoretical experiment. Yeah, put yourself here. Imagine this. Think about this.
Just constant.
Well, do you have any practical experience? No, not really. But I do have a diploma.
You're
Well, I
just
know what-
purposely trying not to imagine. That's what your problem is.
Yeah.
They're basically saying you're too logical and practical. Come
Yeah.
go with me to this closet
Yeah.
of theoretical imagination.
Taken out of the real world. Come in my imagination.
The guy earlier said you can make up any definition that you need to. That's basically what he was saying.
And
no,
any
no, no, no.
axiom.
Yeah. Wait, but I see this in reality. I can do it. I can prove it. Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Wait, if that axiom doesn't work for you, I got one that will.
You want to see this shit I got in my head?
But you see,
You ought to hear what I'm thinking about.
but did you guys notice how when I said like vertical wells are practically straight, he argued with me tooth and nail that I was 100% wrong, only to eventually admit that I was basically right. Like there is a difference between vertical depth and the length of your pipe, but it's not really anything usually to talk about unless you're on a there are wells when it matters, and I was waiting for him to bring that up, but he didn't. But anyhow, yeah, it's like it's kind of wild in a way because like when he's arguing with Bev, he's like, well, a straight line or horizontal or parallel can mean this or that or this, and then I tell him that a vertical well is essentially straight up and down, and there might be a couple of feet in the difference over 2,000 meters. And he wants to fucking argue that. It's really such cognitive dissonance. It's crazy, in my opinion. It's wild. That was like a real teller for me when he argued that point.
Always go out into the real world and measure this, prove this. You can do this yourself. They're always, let me draw you a picture of what I've got in my head, right? They're never... Go here.
Hang on,
stand
Dave.
here.
Hang on, Dave. I
Why
love
are you
my
interrupting
whiteboard.
him? You interrupted him to say that.
Because I draw pictures. Because I draw the pictures.
Oh my god, go back to staring at brake pads.
Yeah, but you're drawing a picture of something we can go out and actually do. They're drawing thought processes down on paper.
Nice breaks.
The imaginary laser that goes from here to South Africa with no atmosphere.
Look at those calipers.
Oh, he's staring at brakes again, is he?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think he's broken, that dude. Like, for real. It's a pretty big deal that he can sit there, tell Bev, pick any axiom you want, and then argue with me over a couple of feet in difference of a vertical well that's 2,000 meters deep. Like, that's fucked
Well,
up
the other
shit.
thing is, I don't know if he knew that you may or may not have been there to hear when he may have explained what he said had already explained. What happens if you weren't there? Like just asking him to just explain the next step, and it's like, what is that?
He didn't explain it before, though, as far as I know. But I wasn't there from the beginning. But
Well, I missed bits as well, so I just didn't know what was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was intrigued to hear the next step.
I just was trying not to let him off the hook, but I knew he wasn't going to be.
Just go back and measure it again. Go back to step one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what he said. But at first he said, drop the tape. And I'm like, what, just throw it on the ground? And he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, no, really? What do you mean by that? And then he's like, no, you're just purposely trying not to understand. I'm like, no, you said drop the tape. What do you mean?
He had 2 drops making a hump, and then a bit later on he pretended it was 2 drops of fucking water. Not like 2 individual drops.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I thought he had it mastered.
No, I seen how that, if you go back to that conversation, you can see how he got fucked up on that, but yeah, I'll stick up for him on that one. Not really, but I see where
he had it mastered, didn't he?
I can see where he got fucked up on that one. But I don't know why he chose to make the switch in his head, though, to get fucked up.
Did you actually mention to him the perpendicular relationship to reality? I don't know. I presume you might have said that at some point.
Yeah, they don't. They literally don't understand that perpendicular reality from that the fact.
Well, they
that
just
it's
call it a
straight
point and
line,
put a fucking curve underneath it.
it can't be two straight lines perpendicular, even though perpendicular is. They then turn it into a tangent.
Do what you want, mate.
It's perpendicular to the surface, but the surface isn't the surface.
Oh, and then he agreed on the horizontals being fucking perpendicular to. Oh god, yeah, that was a bit. He's quite happy with that, wasn't he? Verticals parallel with horizontals.
Yeah, but you can only have one vertical being perpendicular to the horizontal. That's why you have to have a horizontal at a point.
Yeah.
It's
Got your
terrible.
personal tangent. You got your own personal tangent. Just drop it on the floor anytime, like you tape. It's called a horizontal.
Is nobody gonna sing it for real? Your own personal tangent? No.
That sounds like a Depeche Mode song, doesn't it? Personal tangent.
Yeah, there you go.
Are we on YouTube right now or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You're gonna tell me I'm cringy?
No, but you are cringy.
Fair enough.
I hope it weren't my lyrics that were cringy. You know, the lyrics you put in your song that I was thinking of.
Oh, Buster thought of the lyrics you were thinking of when you wrote his song?
Yeah, with all the songs that he's written, he's probably put just about nearly all my lines in there.
Should we charge him
We've
for
got to start
plagiarism?
Stolen
Took me
from
25
his
years to
mind.
get to this fucking point.
We should charge him for plagiarism.
I stole him from him psychically.
Yeah, it's possible.
Psychedelically.
Yeah.
Just make an axiom up for it. Easy.
I'm having a hard time understanding why it's okay to just change from one axiom system to another. It seems weird. It's like, oh, I don't like that one. That doesn't work
Like
for
a
me.
throwaway.
I've been.
Let me
Hey, look!
change
Do not steal
Wait.
my argument. I have been making that, and nobody's paid attention to it.
I don't remember you ever saying
What's
that.
the
I
other
have
axiom
3
system?
times.
I don't remember you ever saying that.
So what was your one, Buster? What was yours? The original one.
Okay. My
Buster,
original
you've
argument.
never said that. That's.
Yes, I have.
I'm the OG
Multiple.
on that.
He's probably got it in one of his songs, mate. So he's probably
Multiple
fucking
times.
right.
I almost did write a song about it because I've said before you can't play Monopoly and Uno at the same time. They're different rule sets, different
I've
parameters.
never heard you say that.
You're lying through your teeth.
I have. No, I'm not actually.
Probably been hanging out
Come
somewhere else.
around more. That's why I asked. That's why I asked that dude today. Are there different postulates and axioms in the geometries? Euclidean versus non-Euclidean? Yeah.
Of course.
Well, how do you? Yeah. Well, how are you going to intermingle them? Well, you just do. And that,
It's easy, he says.
yeah.
It's easy.
Because a postulate is just an agreed upon idea. That's all.
There are rules and parameters set within, and especially Euclidean, it's proof upon proof upon proof. Then when you switch to spherical, they change them. So you have to use a whole different rule set. You can't use Euclidean if you're going to use spherical.
Yeah, but for them, it's just an agreed upon idea. It's like, okay, this is a certain geometry for like reality. Until we come up to this problem, then we'll switch over to this other.
Well,
Can we
you
agree?
don't think-
And can we agree on that? And everybody says yay. And there you go. You're the one
Well,
that does.
you don't think it's a problem that you have a defined straight line in Euclidean, but in spherical you don't have a straight line, and it's defined as not a straight line, opposite of Euclidean.
It's straight around the ball. What's the big deal?
Yeah, and that's surveyors of like before the
Have you
GPS
never
and all
seen
that
a
kind of
line on a
thing.
basketball?
Yeah,
It's
it's called potluck geometry. That's why they have geometric relativism.
Well, the way I tried to explain it, I think it was to who was it that one day that was in here? But anyhow, if you took a string, right, and wrapped it around the ball, they would say that's straight, right? But what happens if you took like hairspray or something or whatever, sprayed that string so it kept its shape with whatever it takes to keep its shape? Then take that string off and lay it on a piece of paper. Is it still straight? Right? So it was never straight to start with. We know what a straight string looks like, and it doesn't look like that. So you can't say if you mark a line on the ball, that's straight.
If that string is completely like, this is what someone said to me the other day. But if you got that string and you like, so it's in a circle, but it's only the width of the string, and you got your eye down to the level of the string, you'll only see a straight line.
That's that whole friggin' what's that relativism or whatever that Einstein came up with? Everything's relative.
The only time hang on.
That's
the only time a
bullshit.
string is straight is when it's hanging.
Rob, I'm talking.
That's a good point, Rob. Yeah, I'll agree with that, mate.
For sakes. Yeah, I know that whole relative thing. I mean, it kind of can be practical sometimes, but it's been misused. In my opinion, it's bullshit.
You and Buster should have a chat about that.
Yeah, maybe I stole his idea or something. I don't know. I should.
Have you had a chat about it before? The relative.
No, not him and I. That's for sure.
Yes, we did. You lying.
That's where he got his ideas from.
He's going to be calling me a Glober right away. That's crazy. We've never talked about.
I thought you were a Glober.
Is there another guy called God Scalpel?
Yeah, there must be. There must be like someone must be have a fake account or something. Buster's talking to him. We definitely
can't
talked.
Buster, you can't help trolling. You just can't help.
I'm not trolling.
You have to troll. Yeah, you are. You don't even know you're doing it. Yeah.
I know one thing's for sure. When you were over at my house eating popcorn, we weren't talking about that.
Well, we were Netflixing, weren't we?
See, we never talked about it.
You don't mix business and pleasure.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna stop this conversation right here.
You guys know we're live right now, right?
I don't care that much. They can go clip it or whatever they need to do.
Yeah, it's all good fun anyways here. I love this place.
It's not my fault he was over here eating my popcorn. Not talking about these things. Look, you killed chat now, Rob. Good job.
Very wacky. Really.
Wow. You have quite a few people here.
And you killed the whole thing.
I'm sorry. Maybe we could call somebody out, try to get somebody in here and have a discussion.
You gotta pick up the slack now.
Well, fuck, no, I can't. I got this hybrid.
Oh, when it's quiet, you don't want to talk, but when someone's in the middle of a sentence, you feel the need it's important?
Well, yeah, because sometimes just hits me and I gotta say it, or else I'll forget it.
I know, I'm just bugging. Well, I'm going on mute. You take over, Rob.
Well, I kind of got a shit ton of work to do on this Kia. It's a
Come on, you
hybrid.
got time. You got time.
Dude.
What are you doing, Rob?
I gotta do this whole list.
They've been rustled, haven't they, Scalpel?
They've been what? Sorry?
They've been rustled.
Oh, that's got to be really early. Make it.
Is God's aware of the Russell?
Yeah, that's
No,
why he was lying. That's why he was lying, because we had a discussion about it. I told him I wished he'd have been there because he missed it all, because he was into all of the talks.
Oh, Russell. I thought you said like rustled or like rustling
Yes.
paper and shit.
No, they've been rustled.
Yeah, Russell Bertrand.
They've been Bertrand rustled.
Bertrand. Yep, they have been. For sure. That's what it is. Relativism. For sure. Seems like the longer they go to higher education, the worse they get too.
Yeah, you got the Penrose. That's right down the line. That is.
You know, I don't know why we have to change definitions of words either. Like, I understand evolving them into something more clear, more concise. I'm all right with that. But to evolve them over time to mean something they were never meant to mean in the beginning is, to me, it's crazy. I still gotta watch that show about the dictionary one of these days.
Hey, who's here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can even.
Rabbiting a bit.
Who's Sugar Cookie?
Can you hear?
Hmm?
Can you hear?
Yes.
What's these kids?
Yeah.
About writing
Yeah.
for the.
Yeah.
It's dead squat top. There's something wrong with it at the top. Oh, fucking move out of the way. Come on.
How far away are those people?
A couple of 100 meters.
Can you take a picture so I can use a ruler later? You can send me the picture, I'll tell you.
There's a touchdown.
Oh shit! I didn't realise you were doing that tonight.
It's
Hey,
so weird.
I wonder if I could use that ruler trick to figure out how far the sun is from you.
We're going to have an option E to choose from.
Is it
No,
gonna
I think
happen
on
again?
what it definitely looks different.
Yeah.
Have you got your arc curve switch turned off, mate?
Yeah, very much. Till now. Okay.
Funny shape.
Hmm.
Did only just get here right in time. Can't see where the Isle of Man is. It should be there in like it should be setting on the Isle of Man soon over the next few days, but I don't know whether I'm going to get it. How high those bands are at the top, though.
Hey Bev, Unicorn's asking if you can make that full screen in the YouTube.
I'm out like that. That's going live at home. I just have to do that and leave. Yeah. To see what the light extinction is going to be like.
Your sunsets move pretty fast there.
Yeah, this one does seem to have moved pretty fast, yeah. It looks way different in the camera than it does like in real life. I look my eyes up, it looks different. It's a bigger shape with my eyes than the camera's showing.
What can you see? Oh no, don't worry.
Is that
This
Well,
is-
it's hard to describe.
I was going to show you what the difference is between what you can see on that picture and what you can see in real life. Yeah, not you know what I mean, away from that camera. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, don't walk in front of it.
Lovely.
Get
And they got a
up,
little
oh,
kiss right in the middle.
That's me. I'm there right now. Skip rocks.
They're going to be right where it goes green. Aren't they,
You can write this shit.
Shout! Shout at them.
Get out of the fucking way! Start moving your hand.
He's gonna go on one knee.
Ah, that's
Oh, look
cool.
at that! They're walking off into the sunset.
Can't get the focus because it's on them and not the sun.
Ask them to touch the horizon. Thank you.
They're walking off into the sunset. No, that's beautiful.
That was brilliant.
You should go ask them. You should go tell them you'll give them a video of them walking off into the sunset for $50.
Yeah, that's gotta be worth
For
$1,000 quid.
$50, yeah.
A low price of $50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to bring my prices down a bit.
Yeah, I think so. $1,000 might be a little high.
Right, I'll just go over and do the stones.
That's what you should do, Bev. Go around recording people and then offer them money or ask them if they want the recording. That wouldn't be creepy at all. I recorded you sleeping last night. If you give me $50, you can have it.
I got the cutest picture of your kids. I'll take $50 for it.
Yeah, that wouldn't get you banged up or bruised up in a hurry.
There's the stones over the water.
Yeah, it's waiting out.
Mm. You can see the wall. Is it?
Robot in bed.
Oh, so it's not just me. Okay, yeah, you're roboting, Bev. Very much.
Hello?
Whoa.
Anyone there?
Yeah, you robot in
Now
bed,
it's
boy.
okay. Hey, it cuts out.
So where's Bev heading to? What's up?
He's headed to a sunset spot.
Oh, okay. 10-4.
He usually has good service. Not today.
He usually catches a Fata Morgana.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
But that's the stones over the water. If you can see. Right, I'm going to pack up and come back then if you guys can't hear us. Let us know when you can hear us.
So for some reason, it's just your signals are just a little bit off today.
Is anybody else talking? Or are we just sort of silent now?
Everybody chilling.
I'm packing up and going back to the car.
All right. Hmm. Man, it's freaking hot out there. I am not cutting the grass right now.
Discord messing about then with everybody else, or has everybody just dropped?
Right now,
No,
everybody's.
I'm just on mute.
Hmm.
Could have had something keyed up for some times like this. It's all the action, everybody gone. Checking all the stuff earlier. Soon as my signal goes, everybody else goes.
No, I don't know.
Sorry, people listening in. I don't really know what to be talking about. Innit? And the fact we had Bullet Bill come round today. We've had another guy called Billy. Pretty horrible. Who did he come in with? Sean G. Sean G come back again.
He won't be back.
Another video from Sean G on the thing where he explained that he didn't understand what a water level was. We've had plenty of people just recently who do not understand the principles behind a water level.
They've never used
How it
it.
relates. Oh,
They never used it.
yeah. Don't know. I think the model's too strong. Overtaking reality.
That's if you let the model take over you. It's got them. It ain't got me.
Oh,
Whoa.
there's facts, but never being taught the facts.
Breaking up.
Yeah, sorry. Car in a minute.
All right.
Yeah, perhaps coming out tonight was a bit of a bad idea. Taking the live stream on the road might be one of the best ideas.
Mm-hmm. No, snap.
So were you not able to get the stones?
Yeah?
Sweet. Had a load of background noise.
Yeah. I was filming the stones.
Well, that's right up SC's alley. I'm not much on it.
Yeah, I was filming the stones, and everybody else went quiet.
Yeah, I had a load of fan and water, and yeah. I could. You only broke up just a little bit though.
Which, as we know, it's the water, isn't it?
Say it's the what?
Just a minute. Right. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was the stones over the water. The tide was in a bit.
Huh. Yeah, I don't guess I've ever seen the pictures with the tide in. You're always usually there when it's out, aren't you?
Yeah, it would be the best sort of time to catch it with the laser. You know, while the tide's in.
Oh yeah.
And if you can see the stones, then, well, I'll show you when they get back. I was showing you, but it was bad. The moon's up as well, pretty yellow, yellowy, browny colour.
Yeah, it's dead clear tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. Isn't that like sort of in the opposite direction than the sun? It looks it to me. The moon from where the sun went down. The moon looks like pretty much 180 from where the sun went down.
Yeah.
Did you?
Right.
We got the stones over the water.
No, I didn't catch what you said then, Bev. But did you ask me if I saw you do any photography on the stones? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the? I got the water. The tide was in.
Right. Yeah. Well, you got the water underneath the stones. You mean?
The stones, yeah.
Was it pretty misty as well? Like, I mean, it was quite humid, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's
What,
like
you know?
muggy.
Yeah, I don't know what the humidity is at the minute, but here right now is.
Well, it's been 70 all day. Yeah, so I would imagine it's getting higher now. The temperature's dropping. I'm back home in a bit anyway.
Is this still on YouTube? Is it live stream?
Yes. Yeah, having to keep it going while I'm driving. I don't know what the connection's like. Sounds like
Yeah.
I've had a pretty bad day today.
Sounds pretty good at the minute.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that video sorted today of Jose and the tangent and then Jose
God,
and John G. And then,
quite a bit happened today.
well, it's all following on, isn't it, from that tangent? And the tangent things come from the five-sided square. And this, I noticed they're steering clear of the triangle.
Wise. Oh, wise move. But now you're hearing what some of these guys that have been through, the education like that guy on there earlier, and if he's convinced that he can just do what he wants, whenever he wants, create definitions, just like that. That's what you're talking. They're the people that you're going to get to talk to.
Is that the education system, though? Seriously?
No, I don't know. It's just a blending of.
Well, they are all saying that they're all saying that they're the ones that are dead clever, and they can just make shit up because they've been to college, supposedly. Doesn't matter what you've done. Chemistry, biology, doesn't make any difference. You can just reshape a straight line with your education. It's fantastic. But, I mean, I'm not aware of that procedure in the education system. I'm keen to let if there's any teachers out there, academics, come and let us know if this sort of stuff gets taught.
Yeah, or if it's just the whole of one's life, this, with the TV and propaganda, and mix that with a geometry that's got no laws.
Yeah, just not that geometry. The other one.
The other one you can make shit up.
It's only geometry, though, right? They get really freaked out about geometry. None of the other things. And it's strange because geometry is the one that gives you the proofs. I mean, it's good enough doing pseudoscience.
In a book, mate. That's good enough for most people. Seen it in a book.
It's in a picture of a spherical triangle.
Oh.
It's a bit to contemplate that, right? What is it with the education system that allows them to do that sort of thing? Also become that psychology thing as well, where you can divine people's thoughts.
Well, you can if you teach everyone the same shit. You can create their own thoughts for them.
But surely nobody's taught them that level isn't horizontal. That's something that's been developed in this group in Discord, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's only a few that say it. Definitely a lot less people say that when you think of the amount of people that use level and horizontal daily compared to 20 YouTubers that haven't got it right yet.
I was just going to say, spot on. I know you've used the tool properly. I know you've used it practically. But if you'll just imagine with me for a minute that all you've done, it really doesn't work like that. I mean, I know you've used it, but
Yeah, it's like what it is because there's two ends, and the further you get them apart, the more it means you can do shit in between them. That's what it means. Yeah. Oh, you can bulge it. You can do anything you want in between them 2 points if you want.
Yeah, but I mean, I know you've used the tool practically. I know you have bought, and spent time and hands-on. I know all that. I haven't done any of that. I haven't tried it for myself.
No, that's all right, mate. All right.
But if you'll just imagine with me for a minute and just picture something that's beyond imagination, then you'll understand.
Yeah, I'll drop everything I know for that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. You just don't understand imagination.
Yeah, just imagine that you've not actually used that tool properly.
Yeah, throw all that away.
Imagine me.
I'm like scratching my head thinking about all those houses I've built with them. Like, oh, perhaps they're not level. I better go and check them.
What does it really matter if level's straight or curved?
Yeah,
anyway?
you get over it on the gutter in anyway. You just if the building's out of level, you just put the gutter in level, and then it's
Let me go this route. I know you've been to the store and you bought candy bar, and I know that you probably imagine it's made a certain way, but come with me, and I'll take you to a place where those chocolate bars are actually grown on trees, and there's like a river of chocolate milk. Then you'll understand.
Can I have a ticket?
Come with me and you'll see.
You have the golden ticket, mate. Come with me.
Imagination, man. It's the golden ticket. You just don't understand.
It's easy. It's easy. I love that when you said that.
There's no way, right, I can, after knowing how level works, I cannot imagine a level on a ball like they want me to. I can only imagine a level on a ball like on top of it. That's it. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Which was evident when you got the protractor, the circular protractor out.
Yeah.
The other guy came in, didn't he? And he was like going at it and funny. Teaming up for a minute.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that sunset today. It's weird at the top, not the bottom.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like all wonky at the top of it. Could you see any kind of band?
Not really, no. Yeah. It was a bit cloudy, to be honest, and it was really thick and muggy.
It's weird how clear it is to see the moon, though, still. You can see it's clear. I bet if I get the camera out, it'll be as clear as any other day.
Yeah.
Which is weird, isn't it? Because I'm still looking through that humidity layer.
Yeah, but you're not looking along it. Yeah, you're looking.
No, exactly. Yeah, there's less going up than there is horizontally.
I reckon it's just me and you.
All right, Redmond. Hello.
Yeah, I mean,
where we going?
We're gonna.
Where we're going?
Who's that?
You choose it. It don't matter.
Is that Hot Mike?
Yeah, Redmond.
Mark it.
Somebody want to
okay.
Give him a mute?
Right, I'm in there.
Hot mic, Redman.
I got him.
All right.
Jeez. Yeah, I think who would we get to talk to that might give us? Because I mean, it's getting a bit disheartening, right? Having these people come in and just literally not understand a word of what we're saying because they've just done biology and chemistry.
Yeah. You got to go for it all every time, all the same stuff, you know, like.
It's disheartening because you try to explain a water level practically and it's totally lost. Like they're thinking spirit level.
Yeah, that was one of the sort of like early problems, and I thought people would, I don't know, anyone in this conversation would come into this Discord server knowing that they should at least know what a water level is. But people trickle in from all other areas, don't they? So, you know, they're just not getting that, you know, that first, we're the first point of call for the water level, I think.
But why would what does it show? What does it say about somebody's pride or ego that they would walk in and know people have used it and own them and you know have practical knowledge, think that they're going to like have something intellectual on one up you or something. I don't. That doesn't compute with.
Well, he got confused with the local thing, didn't he? That was one of the things he was. Wasn't it him or was that the other guy, Lewis?
Oh, all of them.
Well, yeah, that local thing is. They haven't quite figured out what local is yet, have they?
Yeah, and that it's quadratic function, and yeah, it's. They've resorted to practicing the ways of the stone.
They're rubbishing geometry, or they're rubbishing what we know about geometry. That's what's most annoying.
Yeah.
When like what we're trying to do is simplify it and show people that this mathematics stuff is not that difficult. In reality, it's pretty simple. And these people are just saying we don't understand it when it's that simple. They must think we're really, really stupid, right? Really?
Guess.
The belief of the sphere is strong.
It's strong.
But it sounds strange as well, because I've never really thought about it. I'd never really thought about a model at all. Never really thought about it at all, really. Until you came here and said that level is horizontal. Very strange.
Well, for me, what's strange is the fact that they want to call you a name. They have to call you a name. And my reasons for never calling myself a flat earther are different than you guys. Like I heard a guy say when I first got into it, you know, once you label yourself within a group, you take on the problems of that group and the infiltration of that group. And then you have to answer for all that stuff. And it's like, don't take the label. Just it's up to you what you accept or what you don't accept. And you know, since I came into this, especially since I got online with some of it, I've never wanted that label because there's just so many people with misinformation.
Yeah, but I accept that label. But that was my choice.
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't blame you. Anyone can take on whatever label they want. But
Yeah.
it does mean that you are having to deal with like Ranty Flat Earth, right? He took that name as well.
Yeah, and look what it did to him, I guess. I hear you, but I don't really have like a show that I'd promote and whatnot.
And then you've also got Brian Leakey with his Flat Earth test. You've got to take that on as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got to take it all on. I mean, I wouldn't badmouth anybody or say they're stupid or anything just for taking that label on or whatever. It's just a label. But there's a lot of people that will. Oh, yeah, I don't know. When you see what they're willing to do and what they're willing to call you for taking on that name.
Yeah.
Pretty disgusting type of behavior, right? If I were on either side and heard that, I would definitely have to err on the side of the flat earther, right? Because that is fucking horrible behavior that we hear from them.
Yeah, from the other side, 100%.
Some
of the vitriol that we get is just disgusting.
I wouldn't want to be
make some noise.
Leo. $10.
What was it Lewis came in so butthurt about? Where did he ask you about, for the video?
In the chat.
Yeah,
I put a picture of the water levels in, and he asked me for a video. Have you got a video showing that? So I showed him your video, for your song. What was the video for that? So, yeah, I mean, it was the video of the water level when we were stretching it out. We just put it as a drone thing. All the other footage was done live on the day.
Yeah. He was so angry. It's like you tricked him.
Well, last time he got really angry about getting on the whiteboard. That's why I thought we could go back on the whiteboard again. Am I back here on the big mic now then?
Yeah.
That sounds good. All right. What have we got going on in the live chat? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. No.
Anything Nothing in the YouTube. Did we miss anything?
I haven't been able to watch that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, MN's about as bad as WS.
Yeah, it's all of that obfuscation. They confuse a line of sight with a tangent, and then you say you can have lines anywhere. It's like nobody said you. Like, what's the argument that you can only have horizontal straight lines? But like, whoever said that? They're getting ridiculous and desperate with their arguments in order to win. They're constructing fantastic straw men.
Yeah, so what this guy's asking is what is the line called between an observer's eye and the horizon? Like in the English language, what's that called? And I just said it's a line of sight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's what if you're looking in that direction, it's what you're looking at.
And he says, no point asking you more. You just really like to play in your flat sandbox. Whatever the fuck that means.
Batman's asking, why is it not possible for a Glober and an FE to have a decent debate?
What debate?
What a debate about what? Batman. I mean, I don't know any FE that want to debate. I'm not aware of any. So that's a bit silly. But I'd say Blue's... did you get anywhere with Blue on the LIGO thing? Or is he just sort of making ridiculous straw man arguments again? To get away out of talking to you, Mobius?
He just says that I misrepresent him all the time.
When you asked him to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's poor Blue. But we know that's just hit Blue trying to keep out of the way of the argument. He knows he's beat already, wisely, and using ridiculous arguments to keep out of the way of the actual debate. I mean, if you were to have a debate about with Blue, what would it be structured on? You know, like with...
If I were to have a debate with Blue?
Yeah. Like,
I mean, first I would want to agree to terms. You know, have specific definitions that we can agree on before we start using terms to describe our position. I mean, that would just be like step one.
Meaning like geometric terms?
Like anything that we're going to use for our position. Like if I say horizontal is a straight line, well, I would want to know that Blue knows what I mean, and I would want to know what Blue means if he says horizontal is a straight line.
Yeah, I have an agreement on what the terms actually mean.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense. And I always thought that the definitions within mathematics were set. Right? There's no different sort of things within it. If there is a definition within mathematics, that's the definition. That's what I always believed. Because they do seem to trust maths, but they seem to be able to redefine things now within their own mathematical structure that they supposedly trust.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what Buster was trying to bring out before was, you know, when you have two different sets of rules and you just kind of switch between these different sets of rules depending on where you're at in a conversation, that's not really productive.
Not to a discussion, and certainly not to a debate. Because
Right.
you could just hold two sides of the same argument.
I mean, technically, that's called sophistry, right?
Yeah. Well, the new redefinition of sophistry within the thing, yes.
Oh,
The sophists were just trainers, weren't they? They were teachers that taught people for money to teach people, but it obviously develops into a way that you have to have your person winning. I mean, it's a must win within the academic situation, the sophistry. So that it develops into that, just winning an argument all the time. Did have a nice clip about sophistry, the difference between sophistry and...
I mean, this definition I'm looking at, it just says the use of fallacious arguments, especially with the intention of deceiving, which I guess could or could not be necessarily true. I'm not sure that most sophists, is, according to the word, like when somebody uses sophistry in an argument, I'm not sure that they're always necessarily trying to deceive. Maybe their intention is to persuade or convince, but not necessarily deceive. I think they might wholly believe what they say is true in some cases. Not all cases, but...
Yeah, if you've been taught how to win an argument, and that particular method of winning an argument is just out talking or out just confusing the opposition into a point where the opposition is left speechless by your idiocy, if that's how you consider you win, then you always come out at the other end thinking you've won. I'm not too sure that's sort of sophistry, or if that's just
I think
convincing yourself that you've won.
Any fallacious tactic, I think, or any fallacious argument, like illogical tactic. Well, I'm getting kind of caught up in my own
Here we go.
language, but
this is a good quote here. It says, philosophy versus sophistry. It says, philosophy uses critical thinking and reasoned judgments to determine the truth of a matter, while sophistry bypasses critical thought and only uses the art of rhetoric to convince others that they are correct. Philosophy and sophistry have two very different end goals, and thus two very different standards of which to weigh an argument. In short, philosophers seek the truth regardless of who is correct, while sophists seek to win regardless of what is true. I think that's a pretty,
I could accept
pretty
that.
good,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's I would accept that. And that also contrasts the sophistry with the philosophy. Two very different things. And I would say that we don't care who is the winner. We are just after what is true at the end goal. That's what we're after. And we're willing to have a conversation with anybody in order to gain that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, like in the chat with that howdy guy. Enlighten us, tell us, explain it. And the minute I ask him a clarifying question that he sees as I don't know, a stupid question, he just ridicules me and doesn't answer the question, and that doesn't progress the conversation at all. So that kind of reveals his intention is not to, seek understanding or give understanding or anything like that. He's there to convince or play a part
Yeah, I mean that. It's very strange the way that they talk. Sort of that
It's
Gary
about that time, guys.
Oh, are you off?
I'm sorry.
No problem. It's all right.
See if I can cause some ruckus today.
All right, later, Rob.
Yeah, there's them coming round earlier today sort of shook us up, right? Because I'm not so sure we were aware of how strong that ridicule can get from people. I mean, that guy really thought we were a special group of people. Proper special. And I'm not so sure people could, you know, he must, I don't know. They've got to be sat weird. Somewhere in a room, sort of with that hatred, really. They've got to be bitching about things and other people. Then they associate us with those other people. And they end up talking like they do. Batman's saying that the sophistry is the wrong meaning of sophistry. You should be using something else. Well, that's your tactic. Is that Bertie? Batman's Bertie, is it? And is Bertie
I'm not sure.
Fight the Flat Earth? I think it might be, you know. Is that right, Bertie? Are you Fight the Flat Earth? Trying your hardest? Or working for him? I think you are Fight the Flat Earth. Come in and have a chat. See if you can explain how a water level works.
Well, I doubt that'll happen.
No.
Yeah, it really amazes me how many so-called engineers can't even like describe the basic fundamentals of how a water level works. Like that just blows my mind.
Yeah, especially, I mean, these engineers that are coming out, they're like gas engineers as well. I mean, that's, surely it's pipe work, and I'm not too sure. Like that's a fluid, isn't it? Gas, and under pressure, you'd expect them to see most of them. Does Batman think he's like debating in our YouTube chat? Does he? Or is he talking about another debate somewhere else? Sandra got a sunset. I got a sundret. Another illustrator. Yeah. The globe position is a position of ridiculous And they've only got non-practical people to come. The only actually practical people that they suppose have, they're all fake. They've not got any real people. No real workers, no practical people of anything. You could call Jesse Kozlowski and that guy from Maine and George, but they're not. They've not got a clue in anything. I could do with finding some of these clips. I'm going to have to go over the...
I'm not even sure these people know what what logical fallacies are when they mention them. Like this guy Batman saying that he's being straw man. When he like literally simultaneously straw mans the argument.
Yeah, that's why I think that's Fight the Flat Earth. He dismisses arguments like that by just saying that's a straw man, and he thinks that's a way to do it. He's heard somebody else do it. So that's how you get rid of it. How you get rid of the argument. I've had him on Twitter for quite a while. People that argue like that. He'll have done science. Right, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah, logos. That's funny.
It's a straw man. Well, he did say, I get mixed up with them now. Bullet Bill said, vertical can be parallel with horizontal.
Yeah.
And horizontal can be parallel with horizontal.
Yep.
And vertical can be perpendicular to horizontal, but vertical cannot be parallel to vertical. So one hell of a ridiculous statement to be able to make. But the Globers must believe that.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when they say that, like they'll say something like that, and then when you repeat what they say word for word, will accuse you of misrepresenting their positions.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hold on. Let's go through it again.
Yeah. It's like wait a minute, when I hear you say it, it sounds ridiculous. That isn't what I said. Like, yeah, it was. It was exactly what you said. Yeah, that's it. Black is white, white is black, and white is white, but black is not black. Ooh, ooh. You can measure the angle between different plumb lines. Yeah, that's Fight the Flat Earth. Don't even understand what that means. You've got two plumb lines. How can you measure the angle between them?
That's another thing. They say measure, but what they mean is calculate. Because they'll admit that the angle is too small to measure.
It's vertical. What are you referencing it to? If you're making an angular measurement, you're referencing it either to horizontal or vertical. Now, horizontal will be perpendicular to the vertical. So what are you going to reference your angle measurement from one vertical to another vertical from? Where do you do that?
That's what I mean. It's not a measurement. It's a calculation from a hypothetical model.
It's like the angular difference between two horizontals. I mean, it sounds all well and good while you're doing your geometry in your mind, your imaginary geometry. But when you come to make it practical, to objectify it, you've got to measure the angular difference between a horizontal and another horizontal. See, somebody's talking about me in the chat again. What have you told me several times? He's could it be Fight the Flat Earth? Could Fight the Flat Earth be WS? Do you reckon?
I don't know. It's hard to tell when these guys have so many different sock accounts and they never speak up.
Yeah. They just purposely say stupid shit over and over. And you say, how? Well, you just can. Okay. Show us. Oh, straw man. And now he's asking if John ever tested it. What tests have they done? I hope you're not going to talk about a guy that can't set his equipment up and pretend that he's a surveyor when he's not. I really hope you're not. Right. So, we need to sort out how we're going to show people how a water level works. There you go. There you go. The guy from Maine that can't set his tools up is not a real surveyor. Batman. He cannot defend the stupid shit he does. That's why he sends people like you, fools, idiots, into chat. People that just believe anything people say. Because Globe. The main surveyor's not done anything. The main surveyor's not done a king thing. He's another one I'm willing to call out, just as bad as Bob.
Yeah, that'd be great to have him come up. He's got a whole series on plumb lines in his YouTube channel.
Yep. All series on plumb lines not being parallel, and he's the only person that has that. And he uses a really strange technique that surveyors just don't use in order to do it. That's why I say he's not a real surveyor. I think he met Jesse on his Facebook group. I'm going to do Alberuni with him, Jesse said. Wonder if he ever did get a chance to do Alberuni, or whether he realised it was a bag of shite before he actually did. You can if you want to prove it to yourself. Is he asking us, he's saying that we can measure get the idea it's going to be looking at something over a distance. Let's see whether we can get some pictures. What have we got? What do you think is going to be the best way for us to do this now? Because we've come through. We've got our test, obviously. But what's the how basic do we have to start? Mobius,
Well,
if you had to explain to, obviously, what sort of level would you put the globers at, that where we need to start with them?
Well, personally, I think that we need to start with what a point is. Like, start with page 1 of Euclid's Elements.
Okay.
And just go through the whole axiomatic system to see where exactly they falter, or where there's misunderstanding, I guess. But it'll never go further than, what a point is. They just get too triggered. They can't be bothered by, simple questions that help clarify their position.
Right, we've got to be careful not to fall into the trap, right? Now, taking on board what the people we've had in here today, mainly, what they think. And, like, say you wanted to explain level being horizontal to an average person. Now, how would you approach an average person if you were wanted to tell them? Try and forget about the crazy people that we have. Do you think, like, at what point do you think you would need, I don't know, to equate, is it? I don't know. You don't have to make it as simple as you do for a glober, right?
Right. I mean, not when you're talking to someone who's not super defensive about everything that you say. I think that's a lot of it too.
So where would we start if we were just willing to, let's say we've got a test, or you want to develop a test to prove that you can make a straight line in reality. Oh, well, no, I'll give you the thing, right? You've been challenged to be able to prove that level is a straight line or curved line, right? One way or the other. Could you devise a test to do that? And how would you go about doing that test, given like unlimited expense?
Oh, shit. I don't know. I mean, Pythagorean theorem, like, pretty much proves it. And I don't think that that's limited to any distance.
It proves
I wouldn't
a
have
straight
any
line.
reason. Yeah, I wouldn't have any reason to believe that changes at any particular distance. Like that rule, 3, 4, 5, or whatever. I wouldn't,
But
I wouldn't
you would
have any
have
reason to
to.
believe.
You would have to actually physically do that, though, right?
Well, everywhere I can physically do it, it works. I mean, if I apply imagination to something that I can't physically do, I wouldn't have any reason to imagine it would be any different than what I can physically demonstrate.
I like that as well, because they obviously do that with the triangles. You know,
Yeah.
the Aylesbury and all of that. Can't remember what
sorry?
the triangle was. 10, 13. There's a relationship of the Pythagorean triangle that Aylesbury and all of the monuments are. And they're on the surface. Right, they're laid out. I wish Spot On was here. He'd be able to. He would know that. So that the fact that the Pythagorean triangle works in reality would be enough for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so with 2. We went for the water level because yeah, I get it, but there's geometry, isn't there? Geometry.
Yeah, I mean, that's just defining the terms and using logic to play it out in reality.
Yeah, logos is level horizontal. That's not a bad question. I like that. Is level a curved line? No. It would be a dead easy question. But like I say, you challenged to prove it was a straight line. You would have to make a horizontal, wouldn't you? To know shortest distance between 2 points, or would you need I don't know whether you'd need horizontal in there or not, would you? Just trying to think of the Pythagorean triangle.
No, but I mean, it stands that if if you don't have a straight line, you can't differentiate any line because you have no standard from which to measure or distinguish what any other line is. So if it's not straight, then you can't tell if it's curved or straight.
Well, I get the feeling that's where they're going to go. They're going to say, well, how do you know it's straight? I mean, that straight could be curved. Could have been curved all along in reality. You know how bad they're going to get?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to cover all of the bases. Suppose they came up with an argument you can't tell it's straight or curved. It would be moronic. But can you tell if it's straight or curved? Is there a difference between a straight or curved line? in reality. If you have a tape measure, you pull it tight, don't you? It's no good having a slack tape measure, otherwise you're not going to get the correct distance. They're really going to be struggling. Strawman's in the chat. He must be really losing the argument if he keeps going on about arguing about strawmans now. And I notice he'll be sticking to one specific definition. We all know what strawman arguments are because that's all we ever hear. When we're not there, everybody makes up strawman arguments of normally our position. Like I think I heard one of them today. Bev thinks there's no other straight lines other than horizontals. That's definitely a straw man. Or saying Bev thinks the earth is flat. That's another straw man.
Everything's a straw man. You disagree with me? You're straw manning me. That's a straw man. Is globe. Straw man. Straw man.
Yeah, tangent. Straw man. And I'm still hearing that they want to look at something and call it a tangent.
Well, yeah, like you've been saying for a long time, that word, it just like manifests the idea of a circle, right? Just using that word itself.
Wizard word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we threatened it last night, didn't we? The heat's crazy here. Getting humid. Oh. Tangent. Everything's tangent. Okay. Right. So, do you want to... He's spot on here. I wanted to go over the tangent thing. Get my understanding of a tangent and everybody else's understanding of a tangent. Should I do it? I'll just draw a circle on the board. Maybe it might have a go of it. Should I put a Buster song on? Let me load one up and then we can get it on the Discord. Anyone got any favourites? Dead Straight Lines is too big. Oh, what was it?
Their names to the songs now, or
for Buster's songs? Yeah.
I didn't know if there's like official names.
Okay, we've not had Nug Life for a while, have we? I'll play that. Yeah, we get all of Buster's songs get a naming process. They have to be listened to 3 or 4 times over, and then they develop a name. Feel free to rename them. Put them out again. Right, I'll put this Nug Life on for everyone.
But why would you want them to?
Circles can look straight.
Oh yeah, it's measurable.
Listen to me very carefully.
Can you imagine?
Domesticated, suck my fucking cock.
You do it to all the women. You do it to all the men.
No.
You're equal opportunities, fucking vile cunt.
Yes.
Put some stickers on there that say I'm a fucking liar.
There are assholes that just talk bollocks all the time.
Level means curved, right?
Everything's fake on our side, isn't it? We're all fake.
Complete enough to bollocks.
Hang on, how do you get it? How can you call it vertical on the side of a boat?
I agree, level's horizontal.
Hydrostatic pressure is the answer that will end the game.
Horizontal, bro.
We got the arguments and proofs to show. These crazy people gonna recognize the knowledge that flows.
Oh.
Setting alive, baby. Logic and reality take their water levels, don't curve.
How can a straight line form a circle?
Right line geometry displays the 3D space of our world.
You're a universal horizontal
It makes me
waterer.
sick to think that straight lines curve. That kind of logic is the thinking that no one deserves.
The surface is not curved, you twat.
Send up my baby. We deal with shoes gone shady.
I'm not just being nasty here, right?
Actually, it is irrelevant.
Oh, it's good to hear that back again. Not heard it for ages like that. I'm gonna do the similar to the other one with the Nug Life. This new one deserves a few clips like that. So at the minute we're gathering clips that will be used in the latest cut of Buster's new song. Because they're coming up with some crackers at the minute. Horizontal bending through gravity. That might make it. Yeah, that's obfuscation. That could almost be WS, that. Fight the Flat Earth. WS. Yeah. Yeah, it could be that stupid. What do you know of form of a circle and basic geometry? The sine and the cosine. Anyone? I bet not a lot of people do.
Sorry, what, Bev?
I said I bet not a lot of people actually know much about the formulation of a triangle, the right angle triangle. I think I have gone over this a few times before. It's basic, right? So Pythagoras works for a very simple reason, because there's a relationship between the sides of the triangle. But do you know how the right angle triangle's formed? And the relationship it has with a circle?
You mean using a compass, or what do you mean?
Within the circle. And the oh, wait a minute. Probably better me getting on my tablet, seeing whether I can show that as it. This would be good if this works. We go. Join voice. Oh, have I? Are you there? Who joined? There you go. Right. So if I share a screen, is that? And if I go. Empty. Right, a screen. Draw a circle. Does that look like a circle? I suppose it looks okay. Let me just have a straight line going across there like that. Can you see that?
Yeah. But let's see.
I'll change that to
I don't know.
Right,
yeah.
Now, if I draw another line. Oh, what? That's a diameter, suppose. I don't really know how to make sure that's a diameter. But then if you draw a line from there to there and a line from there to there, then this bit here, oh, that won't work like that, becomes this is the right angle. Oh, whether I can turn that round or not. The right angle is there in that corner, but I can't turn that thing round. So if you move this line to here, oh, I'm not very good at this, to there, so that would put the right angle there on this. That doesn't work, does it?
I kind of get what you're saying.
The right angle is always at this point here.
Right.
Always there. So this is the hypotenuse is always this, right, which is always the diameter of the circle. Yeah?
Right.
So of any right angle triangle, I'm so bad at this. Any right angle triangle is associated to a circle, and you make the circle with the diameter of the hypotenuse, because it always puts the right angle at this point here. Right? So the right angle's always there, which makes that bit that I've got the arrow pointing at it the tangent.
Would the right angle be the radius, right?
No, because the radius is from like here, isn't it?
The radius is from, yeah.
Right.
So wouldn't that be the radius?
But, well, this point here is the tangent point.
Right.
Right, so anywhere where the right angle is on the right angle triangle would be the point that touches the outside edge that moves around the circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if it does that, where it moves around the circle, then that becomes the tangent point. And that is where they call the tangent. So you've got this bit here. And green one, this bit here. I'll call that one yellow and that one green. So with those 3 points, you've got sine, cosine, and then this point here is always the tangent. So that's where the sine, cosine, and tangent actually comes from within trigonometry. The tangent point is always the point where the right angle touches the circle at the tangent. So the tangent function is the opposite over the adjacent. Those two sides, isn't it? Not the hypotenuse. So it's the other two lines, the opposite. We've got the tangent equals the opposite over adjacent.
Opposite what? Angles or sides?
Yeah, it's always the angle, isn't it? Because you're never worried about the right angle. You know which the right angle is. Right? So when you're doing trigonometry, this angle here is always known. That's the right angle of the triangle.
Right.
This is your hypotenuse down here along the bottom.
What's the opposite and what's the adjacent? The one on the right's the adjacent.
Depends which angle you're going to use, right? If you're using if you are using this angle here, then the opposite would be this side.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, those are the sides, not the angles.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
So this would be your tangent, right? The tangent function is the function of the opposite over the adjacent.
Yeah, just like the words mean, opposite would be opposite side, and then adjacent would be next to.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And not the hypotenuse.
Sides, you had me confused for a second. Because I know the hypotenuse and I know what the 90. But the opposite and the adjacent, I forgot if that was the angles or the sides. At first, you said angles, but the sides, that makes sense.
Well, it's always related to the angle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, whichever one is the opposite for the angle that you're trying to work out.
Yeah, I know how you're saying it. Yeah, I get what you meant.
But the point is that one of these would be the sine, and then the other one would be the cosine, right? Depending on whichever one of the angles that you wanted to use, the opposite over the adjacent or the hypotenuse, depending on which one you've got within the trigonometry. But the other one is the tangent, and then this is the tangent here.
But if you already know that's 90.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's why in the right angle triangle, this is the tangent function, and it's the tangent function because this point here is the point that touches the circle on the inside, right? And you make this tangent line there as a function of where that touches there. So that helps you work out the tangent function at that point.
Well, what's the tangent function figure of that one point on the top? That has to be a 90, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always... Yeah, you're using the relationship of the two sides around that 90 degree.
But like on your calculator, you have sine, cosine, and then tangent is another...
Yeah. But the tangent uses the opposite over the adjacent. The sides.
I forget when you use it.
And it's these two sides, isn't it? That one. Oh. And that one there. Those are the two sides that you're using, and it's in relation to this point here. Right in there. But that's why that's the tangent. Does that make sense? Like, it's not that that's a tangent, right? This is a tangent.
Clear as mud.
That just touches the circle, but this is called the cosine, and this is called the sine, because these are the two angles that you're using. But this one here is called the tangent function, because it is the one that is the tangent on the circle. Within trigonometry, right? Because it's the co is opposite over the hypotenuse, and the sine is the opposite over no. I mean, that's adjacent, isn't it? Opposite. There you go. So that's the adjacent over the hypotenuse, and that's the opposite over the hypotenuse. And that one's the opposite over the adjacent.
That's that SOHCAHTOA. Yeah.
Trigonometry. Now, all they are is the relationship of, so the sine angle, like let's say here, is the opposite over the hypotenuse. It's the angle that you're trying to work out the angle of the opposite over the hypotenuse. It's the relationship of this side and this side. Give you the angle. And the other one is the relationship of this side and this, which gives you the angle that you're missing, right? Does that make... If you know the length of this side and the length of this side,
and you can find the length of the other,
then you can find the length of this one, right?
Right.
Because of the angle.
Right, the relationships.
Yeah. So when you use the opposite over the adjacent, you're just using this one and this one to find the hypotenuse, the one that's missing.
Yep.
It's like it's beautiful when you look at it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it makes perfect sense. So
the fact that this right angle triangle here, and as it moves around, obviously, here we go, I can get a different colour. So, if you have that up there, then that is where the right angle then becomes. Every time you draw a triangle within the circle, there would always be a right angle at the tangent point. You know, like if you went really small here, like that. That would always be a right angle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not anything that's sort of set. I mean, like, whoever found that out, and the relationship between the sides with the angles of the triangle, all of the sides and all of the angles all have a direct relationship. They were logarithm tables that you can have, right? So if you've got this angle and this length of this side here, and this one, you can work out that length because of the relationship. They're always the same. The relationship of the angle to the sides all follow all of these rules. Not because it's not difficult, it's just they're always the same. And because the relationship between the circle and the triangle are so closely linked, it's a similar relationship. Genius. But all it would be, it'd be people drawing circles and working it out.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you had two stakes in the ground, and you had a string wrapped around like a band wrapped around both of the stakes, and then it was long enough to where you could make a circle, then you could do that. You could make a rectangle with that, lay it out and build something.
I think it's genius. Whoever worked that out, and why they don't bother telling that at school. The relationship between a triangle and a circle, especially a right angle triangle, right? It's all about that. If you don't have that, but that happens within the circle, no matter where you do it. If you make the hypotenuse the diameter of a circle. If you wanted to make a right angle, all you'd do is draw a circle around the line that you want, half of the length of the line that you want. All the way back, rubber. Simple. And then the other sort of relationship you've got. Well, I've got a quick erase. Oh, there you go. Draw. Right, so the circle has the relationship of the straight line so we'll call, if we call that the diameter, which it is, and then the whole surface is all the way around is the circumference, then pi is just a number or a shape that they do, and they go the circumference over the diameter. So when they say there are 2 pi radians in a circle, what they're actually saying is the circumference, the pi, is the circumference over the diameter, but the diameter is just 2 radiuses. So there are 2 pi r radians in a circle because pi is the circumference over the 2 radians. So if you go all the way around, if you say that's 1 radian, then you would definitely get 2 pi, because the circumference all the way around is 2 pi radians. It's clever the way that works, isn't it? I mean, it sounds really complicated. Did you get that?
Yeah, it's not, though.
We're losing viewers. If that's a radius, right, and let me get this right. So if that is a radius, and then a radian is literally that stretched around the edge, and if pi is the circumference over 2 radians, pi d, that's just a ratio, then it makes sense that there would be 2 pi radians all the way round the edge, because you've got 2 radians there and pi. So you move this over here, so you have 2 is it 2 pi radians equaling all the way around the circumference of the circle?
Equals the circumference, yeah.
So how clever is that for them to say, well, we'll stop using the degrees on the inside, and what we'll do is we'll use the 2 pi radians to equal the circumference. When the circumference, when pi is the circumference over the diameter. Does it not sound like it's a wizard trick to me? We'll say that pi is equal to the circumference over the diameter. And then we'll use that to then interpret all the way around the outside by using radiuses and confuse the radians with the instead of using just the angle. Because all they do is they interpret that angle as a radian round the outside. But the radian is just wizard trick to do with pi to confuse people.
Yeah, well, a radian's not a linear measurement, right?
As a radius it is. Because that's what I say. The radius is definitely a measurement, and that's how you measure the angle. So the radius is needed in order to have the angle at the center, because all angles, like we said before, a triangle, a right angled triangle, comes with a relationship with the circle. Well, every angle is the relationship of a circle cut into a portion of a portion of a circle.
Right, but when a radian is being used as a measurement, they're not talking about the radius. They're talking about a curved line measurement.
Yeah, well, you've got that 2 pi r radians, which is
right.
But pi is derived from the radius already.
Right.
So you're just doubling up. Like if pi is derived from the radius, then you can't say there are 2 pi radians, 2 pi r radians within. That's just doubling up on the radius. It's to me, all they're doing is they're representing this angle as a portion of a radius by using the radius which is in the pi thing already. It's just easier to use an angle. There's no such thing as a radian, right? It's just another way of using angles. Because how do you measure this? How do you possibly measure a radian as a measurement?
Well, that's what they do, right? They convert it. They use a conversion from an angle to a radian, which doesn't mean anything. It doesn't give you a measurement.
Well, you can't anyway, because pi is just a ratio.
Right.
That already incorporates the radius. Within the diameter, right? It's just 2 radiuses within the diameter.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about. From what I understood about it, it would take 3.14 blah 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 to make the radius or diameter. Sorry, the circumference. Like if you were to roll it, like stretch out the circumference. It's just a ratio of that to the. But when they say radian, it's.
Yeah. Well, what pi is? Here we go. Draw. So you've got pi equals the circumference over the diameter.
Right.
Okay. So if that pi incorporates the circumference and the diameter, so you've got the circumference over 2 radius.
Mm-hmm.
So pi equals the circumference over 2 radiuses. So you draw a circle. The circumference all the way around is equal to 2 radiuses right? The ratio of that is what you call pi. So you then say 1 radius here is equal to like a certain distance around the edge. Oh.
Well, the radius squared would be equal. No, it's the
So you
the ratio between r squared and the circumference gives you pi.
Yeah, so there'd be 3.14 diameters all the way around.
Right.
So in order to make that radiuses, you would double that and make it 6.28 radiuses all the way around, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 0.28. Oh. Now, if that would be a radian, the 6.28 radians. So what they say is there's 2 pi r radians, don't they? Well, that's because the diameter is 2r. So you've got 2 pi r radians equal the circumference. It's just instead of being the diameter, it's just 2 pi r. It's 2 r's. Instead of just the one diameter. Because that's all you're after, the circumference. Isn't it? It is the distance around the circumference in relation to the radius, not the diameter. So there's 2 pi r. It's a trick. You're looking at this bit around the outside rather than this bit here. And all of this bit around the outside always ends up getting related to these angles at the beginning in the centre anyway. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, the relationship doesn't change. Or the ratio.
That angle there is always going to be the same as that portion of the radian around the outside. It's exactly the same thing, except I say if you're using this as a distance, because nobody actually measures it, if they were to measure this, they would need to know the radius. You would have to have the radius in order to be able to measure a radian around the outside of a circle. But there's no radian measuring devices. It's always just the angle at the centre, isn't it? That they calculated change to this radian using this formula with the r equaling the 6.28-ish.
Yeah, it's funny how much resistance you get when you just lay it out logically like that.
But like, there's only there's only an angle that's measurable, as far as I'm concerned, and that's between the two straight lines. You have to have this line and this line in order to measure the angle between the two. See, Batman's telling us 1 radian so many degrees. Well, yeah, it's obvious because you're measuring a degree. It's not hard to divide 360 by 6.28. I mean, it's not a mathematical genius that does that. It's really, really easy. But it's for no purpose. Because nobody measures a straight line distance around the outside of a curve.
Let me ask you this. I don't know anything about theodolites. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Batman said 1 radian isn't 1 radius around the circumference. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why pi is 3.14, because it's 3.14 diameters around the circumference. It's a ratio of the circumference over the diameter.
Is he going to be pedantic because it's not an exact number? You know, like pi can't ever be resolved down?
My point is that you're wrong. It is. 1 radian is a radius around the circumference. That's why you have to know, if you were to be able to measure it, if there were a tool for measuring radians, you would need to know the size of the radius for you to be able to measure the radius around the circumference of the circle. Circle. Oh. There you go, 1 circle and a radian. That's a bit small. Oh, where's my stuff going? And then you would have the bit in between that.
A unit of angle equal to an angle at the center of a circle whose arc is equal in length to the radius. It's a radian.
Yeah, the arc around the outside. Oh, look at that. It doesn't... It has to be an arc.
Yeah, because that's not the same length. The straight line is not the same length as
the arc around the
arc.
Yeah. That's why it's a trick.
Yeah, it's not an actual measurement.
It's a ratio.
Yeah,
right. It's a ratio, a relationship
of the
calculation.
It's just the circumference over the diameter. Pi equals. It's pretty simple. Yeah, well done, Batman. You were wrong. Absolutely. Pi is a wizard trick.
Mm-hmm.
To make people not understand the relationship between, because it's not taught, is it? Nobody ever gets taught that this pi is the relationship of the circumference over the diameter. All you get taught is that it's 3.142. Whatever. If you want to be clever, carry on going with it. But that's what you get taught. I always used to think when I was at school that when I ever heard that, I used to think, wow, those mathematicians must be amazing. But it's just meant to be a relationship of the... how would you work that out? Well, you just measure all the way around the circumference of a circle. And then you measure the diameter. And the ratio should always come to that. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone ever done that?
Well, if the radius is stretched along the arc of the circumference, then it would be that ratio would make up the circle.
Are you sure of that, though? Have you ever done it?
Well, just like how you had the 6.28, and then it would go on and on and on. The reason why there's so many decimal points is because it's not, you'll never get to the exact ratio, because the circle is essentially infinity. So,
well, yeah, but you've got 1.618, is it? Was it? 1.6?
What's that?
No,
6.28.
No.
If I could interrupt just for one quick second.
Okay.
Buster, this freehand shit was a bad idea. That's all I wanted to say.
I can't help it. You don't have a steady hand.
Yeah, fuck you.
What's going on? Freehand?
Cutting in an edge with painting.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. You're not good at that.
Oh, Mr.
I'm
Shaky
awesome
Hands.
I'm awesome on the ceiling, but Buster suggested I should try not taping off the floor to do the baseboards too, and I suck on the floor.
You might want to rephrase that.
You're an idiot. I don't make a very good bottom, okay? Anyhow, I just wanted to throw that out there right quick. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt your guys' math lesson.
Yeah, 1.618. Somebody, didn't somebody work that out?
That's the golden ratio.
Yeah, but wasn't there a guy who worked it out for pi? It was...
I heard that the number for pi wasn't exactly right even.
Yeah.
It's not. You can't resolve it down. It's like it's
No, but it's not
number.
even to the second decimal. It's not right.
Yeah. That's why I was saying didn't somebody say, but that looks too far out, the Fibonacci.
Fuck.
We did do that. It was have to go over that again.
I don't know much about Fibonacci. The only reason I know it, the 1.68, is because that's like bodybuilders strive to have that ratio chest to waist.
Does that not 1.618? Does that not come into music? Is it not like a?
I don't know.
I thought it was too. No, I think it is. It has something to do with music.
Yeah, what's that? I'm sure there's a song. Is it?
1.61.
Oh, that you're thinking of. You're thinking of that song, David's song there. It's a famous one, right? Is that what you're thinking of?
Like the one that says the minor
Hallelujah.
chord, the major fifth, or whatever.
Yeah, hallelujah. Yeah, hallelujah. Well,
The major lift. Yeah.
yeah, sing it for us, Buster.
Stop screen sharing. Stop sharing.
It's definitely a good song, though.
Nah.
You don't like it, Buster?
Nah, I never was crazy
Heard
about
it many times, or?
Huh?
I love that song.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's strange.
You just don't have the Holy Spirit, that's all. If you had God with you, you'd like it.
I've got a live cat going.
Show pony cat.
Oh, hey, Sandra's in the chat. We didn't manage to get... It was a very high band. It was a really weird high band. Actually, I didn't get me... I'll put it in there. Oh, so we can... Yeah, it did seem very strange.
Fuck! Oops, sorry for swearing. Bad Buster.
First to the 7th, that's today. Right, I get it here. Screen. And close Discord. Main screen. And there you go. Look how high that band is there. There's definitely a line up there. Looks like a cloud layer, but it's where the sun goes. Weird shape.
Yeah, I could see that live when you were doing it. That's that's strange.
Isn't it like it's at the top rather than at the bottom?
You guys
like
got
it's trailing it.
You guys got some weird atmospherics there. That's crazy.
Oh, look at him.
Get a room.
Yeah, come on. Get out the way. Yeah, Emma's shouting at you. Get out the way. But look how much water you can see there. I mean, there's definitely a lot more water. And look, it does just...
Oh, it is kind of dipping in. And strange.
And that's where that band is, up there. Yeah, Sandra got it as well. Like, it's great when we do that. I've never seen it up that high, but like I say, it's been really still. I should have got there a bit earlier to watch it go through it. I'm not too sure where the Isle of Man is in there.
Man, look, it's like super oblong. Look at that. It's like an egg.
Yeah. Yeah, because this bit's in that high band. It's just come out of the high band
Shifting
now.
over? Did you see the left side kind of shift over?
It seemed fast as well.
Yeah.
That's bad focus, that. You can definitely see the banding around the edge. Here they come again. That's bad focus in that. It's hard to tell though with the little screen, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of times I'll try to look through the eyepiece because you can get a little bit clearer. Take some ambient light out around your eye.
See, it didn't travel the full screen, and look at the size of it. Whereas usually it normally goes nearly all the way across.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The last few you've gotten it, you had one of them. You had to shift the camera.
Yeah. John says you've got to listen to Hallelujah by Pentanix. Here they come, but that's not. I've not done very well with the focus there. I should really take my lad with us. Slight curl up of the edges.
Hey, down in front.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Go on, get out the fucking way. Yeah, it was a fade out.
So fast.
Yeah.
That's the fastest sunset you've got for sure.
Yeah. But the banding was dead high, so I'm wondering whether that's got a difference. Whether it, because that band was dead low. The sky looked amazing, just around where that sun was. That little bit of light in that area.
Maybe that higher band caused it to go away faster. I don't know.
Okay, I have to just recenter it here now.
Man, that's some serious high tide there.
And focus. There's the stones. There's the reflection of the light. So where's the base of the stones? If it's there, we get a laser on it. And there's the water. Over 10 miles. There should be water across there. Come on, stones. Where are you? There's not much there, is there? And you see these lights, the separation on the lights keeps getting more and more. And I don't know whether that's got to do with the water or what, but look at, they were nearly touching earlier, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
What is that light?
Well, these are the stones. I don't know, I've never really been over here, but I think this may be the, well, these are definitely fairground rides on the pier. And this flashing light here, I'd say that's part of the pier also. But these lights here, I don't know, they could be on this walk where, you know, where the stones are. I don't really know. But hopefully this weekend, if DP comes down, we're going to try and get the laser over there on that side and a laser over on this side. And we'll see exactly how high or how low we can get on either side. And still see the lasers. Well, that's would you say that's a hump of water there? Is that just before it goes back down again on the other side? Or where would the, because that's, if there's them stones are there and there's some refraction here, you could say that that there is refraction, couldn't you? Where the mirroring is in the middle of them stones across this water. So everything below there would be normal. And then that's when I was struggling with the connection. Would have been nice to have got that earlier. Look how high that is.
But now I would, you know, take this one and you're super slow, because think about it. If this one has a super high band it went through and it's set faster, and you got that one with that really thin band and it lasted forever, there's like got to be a correlation.
Yeah, it is. It does make that separation there. I don't know whether I'd call that a Fata Morgana there, because it's coming up from the bottom and the light extinction goes, but I mean, look at the size of it there in the frame. To think that it doesn't make it over to this side and disappears mid-picture somewhere. That's quick, isn't it?
I would do this fast sunset and your really slow one side by side.
Yeah, I bet. That's crazy. I've never imagined to see that it's so high. Oh, can you see the? Can you see the light here at the edge of the band? It sort of pulls all of those clouds in with it. Well, I'm glad it did go out now. I thought it was I don't know, I thought it was a bit of a letdown.
Well, can you let it go for just a second?
Yeah.
Straight? Or not, you can fast forward it, but...
Go on, where do you want to get to?
Just to, like, you were kind of... Yeah, keep going right there. Was that cloud in front of it? The dark one, right? Shouldn't it be? Watch it go past it. What's up with that? Because these clouds at the very bottom are in front of it.
Yeah.
But when it goes down, that one there, you can see it from behind. But the cloud below it, you can see it in front of it. Why is it doing that? Why do you have a cloud behind and one in front? See, the bottom of the screen, you see the clouds in front of it.
Yeah.
But the other one was behind it. Rewind it. See it? Boom, in front of it. Behind.
Yeah.
I don't get that. That makes no sense. You just don't understand. It's like it's going between clouds.
Yeah.
I don't get. I have no explanation for that. It'd be neat if somebody could explain that, because you can obviously see those one clouds in front of it.
Yeah, you'd have to say, looking at that there, that this is cloud. Like that's a cloud. That's a cloud.
I just want to know why you can see the cloud in front of clearly right there, but as it goes at the top of it, it's behind it.
Yeah, like this bit here and this bit here, right there and there, those clouds, definitely behind.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, am I crazy for asking that?
No. I wouldn't have noticed it if you hadn't have pointed it out, but yeah. There's only these clouds here in front of it. The rest are
If
behind.
those clouds, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can clearly, the clouds at the bottom of the screen are clearly obstructing it. But up there, they're behind it. That's insane.
Are you talking about clouds in front of and behind the sun?
Yeah, look at it. Look on his screen. You can
I've seen it. I've seen it with my own two eyes with the moon lots of times.
Look at the screen right now.
Can't.
Wow.
Oh, well, don't then.
But I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. Oh, fuck! Oh! I just dropped my tape on the floor that's covered in paint.
Nice.
See what you did to me, Buster?
That's just I don't get that.
Yeah, I've seen it with the moon multiple times. I've seen videos of it, and then I've seen it with like.
I've seen pictures of it, but I've never seen it like this live, where you can reference one set of clouds that's in front.
Yeah, I don't know why it happens, but it's got to be some kind of obviously some kind of.
Well, it's an optical effect, isn't it? The light of the sun isn't. It's obviously not a floating ball.
Okay, I can look at it if it's still up there.
Yeah, check it out. It's just pretty wild.
Yeah, Well, with the sun, though, one could argue that the clouds in front of it, like on here, are so thin that it just kind of burns through them.
No, look, at the bottom of the screen, you clearly
Yeah.
see the clouds obstructing, but the other ones are clearly behind it.
Yeah. No, I know. I've seen it, some pretty cool. You can get it with the moon lots, I find. It's pretty neat, actually, with the moon. Because sometimes you'll get clouds that are going two different directions. And one set of clouds look like they're clearly behind the moon, and the other set of clouds look like they're clearly in front of the moon. And sometimes they'll be going different directions, even.
Is the flashes coming from there in light? This looks like there's flashes all over here. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Can you guys see that or not?
I don't think I'm seeing it.
Loads of little flashes and stuff.
Well, we're getting less quality. You got
Yeah.
4K, don't you?
Yeah, I might have to put that on the video editor. That's mad. I'm going to have to go again tomorrow and catch him at as many of these as possible.
Man, you get a lot of people wanting to go over this video. Those clouds.
Yeah, that's...
I feel like the cloud issue was discussed years ago. I just don't remember what the conclusion was.
What, some people came to a consensus?
I don't know. I don't know about...
Yeah, it's alright, we've discussed it. I mean, could it be that these bands here just don't seem to affect the sunlight? I don't know. Because they're definitely these bands and this one here. I don't know. Maybe somebody with like a P. Well, I don't know. Infrared. Infrared will cut through all of that as well, though, wouldn't it? Or cut through the haze.
Think Sandra, did she get it on?
Yeah,
infrared?
she went. I think she went to the beach as well.
Well, we need to see this in infrared.
I can't get over that band up there. It's visible within that cloud. But it's only the misforming of the sun that gives you the idea that that band is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's loads of flashes all over the place, like maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Never seen it before either. Yeah, nice focusing, Bev. It's hard to focus on it. I'll say that anyway. Dead hard to focus. Well, I am impressed. that flat-topped sun. Fantastic. Right. Discord on.
That was crazy.
Look, Rakiro doing sunset on the water. I can't believe how high that band is. Be good to get the Fata Morgana that big. Right, so I think I'm going to shut it down for tonight. I went to where you wanted me to go for the laser test and film the sun with the P9, but filmed Ion with the P1K. Or the Isle of Man. How far away was the Isle of Man? You know, to where the sun was setting, because it's on its way back again towards the Isle of Man. Sandra, how many days have I got before you reckon the sun would set over the Isle of Man? Because that's what I'm after trying to catch. I've been after that for quite a bit, which be the Isle of Man. Hopefully within the sunset, being able to see the sun setting over the Isle of Man. Because I can't tell where the Isle of Man is. In the picture, I thought it was in that other one. I still do think it was in that other picture, but I don't know where that other picture would be. Still no message. Right, well, yeah, I will. I'm going to shut it down and get an early night. I've got to get the lad up tomorrow. Take him to the opticians.
Yeah, go to bed.
Yeah. So shutting down the live stream. I'll be back tomorrow though. We'll get some stuff doing tomorrow. Definitely got videos to put out.